Private equity funds use capital calls to deploy cash into investment. Properly booking investment ensures the fund's asset balance accurately reflects its holding in portfolio companies. In this video, we're going to walk through the process of booking the investment entries and tracking the investment cost basis and linking the investment entries to capital costs and the investor contributions in Excel. We will show how these numbers flow into various statements after that. So for the journal entries for investment, we will debit the investment in portfolio companies and then credit cash for the amount of cash deployed in the investment. As we mentioned earlier, we have 4 investments. Let's go back to our budget and we will see these 4 investments. First of all, we're going to deploy $800,000 into the Laundromat. That is at the days of January 15. So in this entry, we're going to debit investment at fair value $800,000. And then we're going to credit our cash. This is the same process to book the AI tech, since we invest 15% of the equity stake in the company. For the e-commerce, we have a total of $6 million investment, including $2 million loans. We will have the entry consistent with the prior equity entries. We will debit our investment at fair value $4 million and the credit cash and the cash equivalent. So this one I need to put it at 4. These are old notes when I was testing the numbers. I set up various scenarios, eventually just wanted to have a good numbers. So these notes may not 100% accurate right now, but the numbers, I guarantee they're all good. I finished this entire model with good numbers. And then we focus on the debt part. The fund is basically a money manager. When we bring the money from the investors, we can invest the money either in equity of some companies or we can issue loans. So we will get interest income from our borrower. In this case, we have a note receivables. We debit the note receivables to record the loan of $2 million extended to the e-commerce business. Then we will credit our cash and cash equivalent. And that's the same as the loan to the apartment. We debit the receivable and credit the cash. Again, these are just made up numbers for me to go through the concept and to show how to do the calculation with different scenarios. In real world, you probably don't book entries so far ahead. You would book the entries happening in the current month or quarter. This is just to have a high-level view of the entire workflows. After deploying all these investments, you can tell total we only have $14,400,000 deployed. Total contribution is $15 million. So what's the difference? The difference is our expenses. So these are what we're going to book next. Before that, let's go to our workbook to show how these entries flow. So these are my investment entries. We have this Laundromat and we have our AI company. So this still shows $5 million. Let's go back to finish my note. 4.6 million and 4.6 million. So now you understand why I put everything into Excel, because all the number from original content will be automatically changed in other places. So now we have our AI company, we have our e-commerce company. This is the equity part, this is the loan. And then we have our construction loan. Okay, so this needs to be changed as well. Let me just quickly fix my note. When I was making this model, I had to test these numbers to make sure they all look good, because I don't want to book some numbers ruin the whole purpose of the model. A good model reflects some good scenarios, and it will be helpful to understand the concept. Also, this is the same situation in real world. When you do your analysis, when you make the decision of the investment, you would have to play around with your numbers to see which one you would have a good return. Otherwise, it does not make sense to do the investment, right? Come to our trial balance. One thing I want to clarify is these are actually monthly activity. It's not like the balance by the end of the month. In real world, all these numbers are stored in accounting system and they will show the balance of each month. They would have a column to show the monthly activity as well. For me, I put this here. It's just easier for me to compare the numbers. And I can just have an additional tab to show the balance of each month. But because the trial balance for me is reference and I don't use for any purpose, my goal is for the financial statement. So I did not spend too much time on this trial balance. This is just for my own purpose to show the numbers. That's why you see that I have the pink checks everywhere. So these are my checks to show all the numbers tie with each other. If there's any numbers pop out from these pink highlighted cells, I have to check my numbers because something wrong. Anyway, these are our monthly activities. This is our financials. So this is what happened. We invested $5.4 million. This is our value for these first two investments. And then in May, we have another $9.4 million come to our book. And this is a cash flow. We purchased our investment. So these are the capital outflows for our investment. These are the two equity part, and these are the two loan principals in this case. You can tell we have 5 million loans, but here we only have 4.916 loan balance. Why? Because we have interest income and some principal paid during this quarter. We will go through the details next. So this is our schedule of investment. We do have our full investment here. So these are the costs, the money we deployed in the beginning of the investment. This is the fair value. So this is before we do the realization. This would be what you see before we sold this AI company. We will talk about this later when we go through the distribution. We set up this loan prepaid by the end of the year. So that's why the value here is zero. But we will go through this next.